This is Oilersnation Radio, your one-stop shop for everything Oilers. 1 hour of straight hockey talk with Bagged Milk, Tyler, Liam, Rick, and Dan starts now.
Tuesday episode of Oilersnation Radio. I almost said Friday.
Yeah, not Friday.
But I didn't. I'm learning. Gang's all here. First time in a minute. All 5 of us here.
Because Rick keeps skipping.
Rick keeps skipping. We had to bring in big guns last time. Mike Menzie sat in for you.
I dig it.
I'm out for the next couple episodes, next 3.
Oh, we're going to swap Dan out. B-Squad again.
Yeah, well, that's life.
Way she goes.
I don't know. I was trying to make some joke about we got Fredericks and Mangiapanes in the press box, but then I was like, that's just incredibly rude to whoever sits in for Dan.
So that would imply they are overpaid and do nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a tough look.
I mean, regardless of what you're being paid, if you're doing nothing, you're overpaid.
Well, that is a
Or you
fact.
just...
How did you just get so tall?
What do you mean?
That's
Or you
You
just
were
stay
almost as
quiet.
tall as me there for a second.
Trying to adjust,
And Tyler's almost as tall as Luke Gazdick.
almost so close yet so far.
you're in an adjustable bar stool.
Yeah, it's so uncomfortable.
With no back on it either.
Yeah.
Working on your core here.
It is an Oilers game day tonight. It's Tuesday. We got the Predators in town, so we got plenty to talk about. But first, I want to give you a shout out to our friends at Oodle Noodle. You can add on 2 green onion cakes, 5 spring rolls, or 6 wontons for just $2 with the purchase of any premium or signature box. Available in store at oodlenoodle.ca. My question for you guys: I will handle the delicious debate today. If you haven't seen or you haven't heard, Mangiapane and Frederic are both healthy scratch tonight. Just under $7.5 million up in the press box.
It's not good.
Not ideal.
Good gig if you can get it.
Great gig if you can get it. You know what? That'll be a secondary delicious debate. I'm going to write that down. What would be your ideal high-paid hockey job that you could just do always? Anyway.
Probably that.
Yeah.
Oh, I will.
Shea Weber.
Got my answer.
Save it for the bonus.
I will.
You got to take it outside of hockey. It's got to be all sports.
Okay. We'll do that.
Backup quarterback. We all know you're picking backup quarterback.
No.
Third string.
I'd probably go long snapper if I'm being honest. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Sam Bradford.
Through 42 games, Henrique, 2 goals. Frederic, 2 goals. Matthias Janmark, 1 goal. Combined for 5 goals, that is 3 players in your bottom 6 that you kind of depend on to do stuff. My question for you guys, the delicious debate. What can the Oilers do to get more production out of their bottom 6 that is not just swapping out personnel?
Damn it. That was my only answer.
I was going to say trade
I knew you guys were going to do it, so
I
knew you were going to do it.
All.
Tyler, what do you think?
What can they do? I mean, I know some people will point to the minutes thing, and some people are like, oh, this is because the Oilers don't have a power play 2, so those guys don't get puck touches and they can't score. And it's like, I see where you're coming from with that, but if you're trying to win a hockey game, the best chance to score goals by keeping Connor and Leon on the ice for the 2-minute power play. So in that sense, the Oilers are unique to other teams because of what their superpower is, and their superpower is Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. So I think the debate about opportunity is it's not quite as simple as just banging your fist on the table and saying play them more. I struggle to go anywhere other than personnel because I'm does Adam Henrique have a lot more to give than this? This is kind of the Adam Henrique that we've seen his whole time as an Edmonton Oiler. Does Trent Frederic have more to give? I think he does, just because he's so bad compared to what he was in Boston. But yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't have an answer. I would suspect Chris Knobloch doesn't have an answer. Outside of changing the personnel, I don't know what you do.
All right, so then I'll give you the boat. I'll give you the free up. What would be your trade? You only get to move 1.
Yeah, I think,
and we'll take Mangiapane out because he's probably going anyway.
he's going.
Damn it. A lot of caveats.
Yeah, you can't trade Frederic.
I'm strong. Well, I mean, otherwise it's too easy. You'll just trade something.
Don't we have a list of when we think he's getting traded?
Yeah.
And some people took this well into... I think mine's right around this time, and some people, I think, went even for the rest of the year.
Liam's into February.
Before that. I think it was after the Olympic break, but now I've changed it to just before.
Well, no.
Because I think we also said, is he going to play again?
So
he got 1 game, which was surprising to me.
Yeah, Rick, you actually...
I'm close.
You're Jan 9?
Yeah, Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
I saw the chance.
BM's the 16th, Dan's the 19th, I'm the 28th, Reese is the 15th, and Liam is February 24th.
Yeah. God, I hope he's gone by then.
I think my answer is like, again, outside of changing up the personnel and changing up who they see across the way, I think is just like stapling them to something and anchoring them to that. I mean, like, I feel like this, they keep trying, like Knobloch keeps trying to put those guys into positions to succeed. And I really feel like they have to be able to succeed at the minutes and at the play that they are going to be accustomed to. And I do believe I'm of the same account that Trent Frederic will come around. And I just think that, like, you've got to grit through this storm of, you have to healthy dash these guys. I wish that it wasn't all happening at the exact same time, that they would have been scratched before this and we wouldn't have this debate, but here we are.
Rick, what do you think?
Well, I think you had to play them before to find out exactly what's going on there. But the only thing you really can do is go up to them as individuals and challenge them.
Do a fist fight.
To a fight.
Well, just here's a job. Go do the job. Like, we always get impressed when someone comes from the minor leagues and finds a spot, right? Because they grab that spot. They grab an opportunity, they take it, and they run with it. You're about to lose all your playing time here. If you want to be successful, go out there, like, watch the game. You can see what's missing. Go out there and fill what's missing.
But what if the problem is
We keep bringing the same type of player?
no? What if the problem is Trent Frederic doesn't think that's his game? Trent Frederic doesn't think that banging and crashing is his game. He actually thinks that playing with the puck and trying to play offensively is his game.
Well, as the coach and the GM, I think you would have had this conversation probably prior to now.
You would think that.
I would assume that's what they have gone through. Other than that, just tell them, no, this is what we need from you. I am your, sounds stupid, I am your boss. Like, this is, you got to follow our plan. This is what we need from you. Go out and do the job.
Liam, what do you got?
I was trying to do some quick research on the fly, and I'm very close to doing it. If I can just,
You're just
push
typing
this
names,
out a little
though.
bit further.
You're typing away like a computer hacker on an old TV show. You're just like,
Almost got it.
Well, he's done doing his research. Tyler, what job are you taking? What's your dream sports job?
oh my God, fired head coach. Like, that's the whole.
that is
Like you hear about
great
those guys in college football, and it's like, oh, he's owed $42 million on his buyout, and it's like, oh, fuck yeah. Can you imagine that?
not bad.
You're so
That's a great one.
You get so good at your job that then you can get so bad at your job that you still make generational money.
All
Sick.
right. I'm gonna add a caveat in because
Oh.
that's the day. You cannot be a fired person. You got to be an active somewhere in the mix somewhere. Because otherwise,
like,
fired coach is like,
Any
that's the
job
answer.
in the arena, I'm just going to be the person that is the penalty box attendant. I feel like
that's
that's
a
I have
very
a family member who does
I
that.
feel like that's a good gig if you can get a hold of it.
You
That
gotta
is
tell
a-
those kids to calm down in there every now and then.
Well, there is a clip from yesterday where I think it was Ben Chirot for the Red Wings slammed an attendant in the door. But other than that, yeah, it's
I like that pick because it's like it's under the radar.
you're in there. You're
You're
always
in the
there.
mix.
Well, the old one was the green light, red light guy behind the
Oh,
net. But they
that
don't
would've
have that
been-
anymore.
Yeah.
Bring that guy back.
That's for the old folk.
I'm telling you,
watching.
AI's getting rid of all our jobs.
Man.
Okay, my answer.
All right, go
So the
ahead.
first delicious debate
Sure.
is, so the question was, what would I do?
Yeah.
I would simply do what Chris Knobloch is currently doing right now in giving different players an opportunity, like he's giving Aikawa a chance, and then also Kapanen's coming back. I think you almost have to wait for them to get healthy, and then you can start slotting some guys certain places. Also, there's no guarantee you always get healthy, but I just think they've kind of run out of options, like besides trade for new players, which I said a few weeks ago that I think they should go full Colorado this year and get people out and get new people.
They kind of have.
I know. Keep going.
Jari and Ingram, those are
thought you meant-
goalies.
Yep. Keep
I thought you
going.
meant lose 3
Because
games
they
in
went and
regulation.
got Brock Nelson was a big one, obviously. They got guy. I know he didn't work out quite as well, but like Ryan Lindgren was another guy they tried to bring in on the blue line. Like, they tried to form a new identity for themselves because it wasn't working. And I do fully expect that what's his name, Stan Bowman, will continue to try and press and make changes on this team because you even push it to the offseason for Colorado, obviously Mikko Rantanen was another huge one they got rid of. The others don't quite have that player to get rid
Trade
of. Trade
Draisaitl?
Maybe. But they went out in the summer and they traded Charlie Coyle and Miles Wood and just got Gavin Brindley back in a pick or whatever it ended up being. But like, they moved bad contracts out, brought in cheap contracts, and it's working for them. I just think the Oilers have to find a new identity and look themselves in the mirror and be like, we are not good enough right now. Our best players are good enough. There is no doubt about that. But our bottom six isn't even close to where it needs to be. Right?
Yeah, of course.
So I got some
Totally.
stats.
Okay.
here
Stats
we
are
go.
facts.
This is the research.
42 games into the season. This point last season, 42 games in, the Oilers had 200 goals.
200 goals.
From their forwards, I should say, sorry. From their forwards. This season, they have 207 goals.
That's better.
However,
Uh-oh.
You knew
last
there was a
season,
but.
they had 6 forwards. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. They've used 19 forwards this season. Last season, they had 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 forwards. So their bottom six this season, was 29 goals.
Okay.
This season, they have 28. So last season, Henrique had 6 goals at this point. Connor Brown had 6. Arvidsson was in the top 6, but he had 5. Podkolzin, also in the top 6, had 5. They were replaced in the Oilers like top 6 of scoring by Corey Perry and Jeff Skinner. So they're just not. I think what has happened in a way is last season they had guys on the third line, and obviously Perry was playing a little bit on the power play too, who was able to contribute. And Draisaitl, who had 31 goals last season at this point, he has 20 this season, was able to carry, I guess you could say, guys like Arvidsson and Podkolzin. Where this season, Podkolzin's carrying his load, he has 9 points. Where the third line is just completely dead. You know what I'm saying? Like so he goes this season for bottom 6 players, for people who don't know. Sorry, I shouldn't say bottom 6 players. These are players who, I guess they are. Savoy is 7, he leads the way. Mangiapane is 5. Then it's Tomasek has 3. Obviously, he's gone.
Olympian.
Olympian. Congrats to Thomas. That's not his name. David. Henrique 2. Lazar 2. Frederic 2. Philip 2. Gone. Isaac Howard 2. Janmark 1. Jones 1. Clattenburg 1. Hudson 1. Kapanen 0. He's only played 6 games, but he's still in there. So I just think they're just... Last season, they were able to get through it because guys like Brown and Henrique were doing something fairly consistently, I would say. Like 6 goals at this point isn't anything to
But your
write
top
home about.
level secondary scoring was better than today's top level secondary scoring.
I just think they have bad players. And I think Henrique is past his due date as what he's currently getting paid and being asked to do on his team. I think he's still a fine player, but he's just not a third line center.
So, like,
right now.
that's kind of my problem is, like, I think Trent Frederic is, like, a fine player. He will be a fine player. I think Adam Henrique is, like, he's not offensive to watch. Like, Andrew Mangiapane, I get, like, offended watching him play hockey because the puck just, like, dies on his stick all the time, and he doesn't shoot the puck, and you know he can be better than he is, but he just apparently chooses not to be.
I think they're all lost too, though.
A little bit. How about this? Last year, with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl off the ice, whole season, all 82 games, minus 22. So far this season, through 42 games of the season, they are minus 25. They have a worse goal differential with Connor and Leon off the ice through 42 games this year than they did through 82 games last season. Now,
Terrible.
Team defense is not.
they could turn it around and get better. So, like, I guess by the end of the year, it still could look better. But, like, are you confident that if they keep the same players, that it's going to get better?
No.
They need an impact. They need a difference maker in that bottom 6. You need to, like, again, trade for a third line center, mix up the personnel, or just start playing the guys like Max Jones and Curtis Lazar who are actually doing positive things. You need to do something different here because it's just beating your head against a cement wall.
The other side of it, which I should have looked at too, which is kind of funny, time on ice. So obviously that's things that people scream at now block for here in Edmonton. Last season at this point, like I said, Connor Brown had 6 goals in 42 games. He had 19 points and was plus 4. He was playing 13 minutes and 32 seconds. He would be 8th on the team currently in scoring, which he was at this point last year. Adam Henrique, he was 14-29. He had 6 goals. Jeff Skinner had 7 goals and 15 points. He only played 40 games. Obviously, he gets scratched all the time. He was averaging that in 12 minutes of ice time. Corey Perry, 11 minutes of ice time. And both those guys at 7 points. So don't scream and shout like you want these guys to play like they actually deserve to play, because they don't. They're terrible. when you had guys last season who were playing fewer minutes than some players are this season and producing way more frequently.
All right, now the important question.
Those are just
What's
better
your
offensive
sports
players.
job?
They were just better players, period.
Better offensive players.
Connor Brown went 64 games and didn't score a goal, and we still wanted him in the lineup every night.
Yeah, but
No, that is a fact.
Well, yeah,
that is a fact.
We were there when he scored.
We were there. I would rather have him in my lineup than basically any bottom 6 forward duo that's ever in there.
Did you see how many people love Tobias Ryder back when he scored no goals? We kind of just love the underdog or
If
whatever.
Andrew Mangiapane scores another goal as an Oiler, I will boo him.
I don't think he will.
I'll throw my hat. I will not throw my hat.
I'll be surprised if
I'm
he
going
hits
to
the
put
ice
more
again.
hats on. That guy.
My question. What was it again, sorry?
What is your dream sports job outside of like necessarily being a player? Because obviously we're talking about two guys that are handsomely paid sitting in the press box tonight.
Assistant general manager.
Another great one. I love that one too.
Oh,
I feel like there's a lot of math in there though.
I got a
Yeah, you're doing a lot of the
different
shitty stuff. You're getting hotels and stuff.
Advisor.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll tell you guys this.
whatever Paul Coffey is, that's what I want.
No, it's the Wayne Gretzky one. Didn't he have 10 years,
he's
10
an
million?
ambassador.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
ambassador is my
Ambassador.
answer.
Sure.
I heard a story about a former coach a couple days ago, and I can tell you guys the name after. But he's just an advisor with the team, and apparently he just like makes sick money and has to be on like a couple Zoom calls. And like the coach can call him if he has problems. So yeah, it's pretty funny.
That is the dream. Rick, what was your sports job?
Honestly, I'd take the I know I said no, but I was lying to you, is the backup quarterback. Much in the line of Sam Bradford, though. Sam Bradford played something like 19 starts or something like that over his career and has well over $100 million and has been out of football for quite some time. So he was making bank when it wasn't crazy money.
Incredible career, too. First overall.
Yeah. Great
Everyone
college career.
believed every time he came on the field.
Yeah. Got injured.
Was terrible.
Out for 12 games back. I think it's time. This is his time. 3 games in, another injury. Great spot.
I think I'd like to be an assistant coach. You got some stuff to do.
You're the fun parent.
You got to be the good guy.
Yeah, you're the fun uncle.
Mm-hmm.
But, if things go sideways, it's the other guy's problem.
Mm-hmm.
Seems fair to me.
Yeah.
But advisor, come on. Like if I'm Paul Coffey and I'm just calling up D Cates and I'm like, hey man, how's it going? He's like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, you go find out. I will. I'll be back.
Call you back.
Bullpen catcher in baseball, not good money,
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know what they're making, though.
but like would be sick to like, what do? You hang out in the bullpen with the boys. What do? I sit there, bang, 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 catch some
How much does
sick
E-Bug
pitches.
make these days?
An E-Bug?
Yeah.
Well, that'll be a cool job when the NHL is allowed to put third goalies on payroll because the NHL is basically professionalizing the E-Bug next year. So I bet you they'll make, what do you think they'll make? 80K, 90K?
Well, you'd probably be
E-Bug, man,
$200
great
a game.
job.
You probably get paid per game. So then you're getting paid to sit in the stands. Or do you are you downstairs?
I think I think you're part of the third goalie E-Bug thing is that like you're going to like practice and like do a whole bunch of things.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're actually, and it won't be like, Scott Foster was an accountant or whatever. I think this would be more along the lines of like, you find a guy who's like a recently retired NHLer and it's like, hey, we're putting you on
who's
payroll.
also a car salesman or something.
Yeah, well, then you don't have that.
When players retire, you go sell vehicles or, what I'm saying?
I think this would be more of like a full-time job. Anyways, you don't need to debate what the E-Bug
Okay,
will
well
look
then
like.
I want current E-Bug. I'm just
he's
going to
gotta
hang
get
out
paid.
and then occasionally, just maybe I get dressed.
And you get to see your jersey. And you're
Always naked.
Well, yeah, or at least Pooh Bear. I'm always ready to go, just always Pooh Bear. All right, we're moving on. We're only a couple weeks away from the Jasper Pond Hockey Tournament at the Fairmont Jasper Park Lodge from January 23rd to the 25th. We're going to be taking over the JPL and playing a little 4-on-4 on Lake Mildred. You still got a couple of weeks and a few spots left if you want to get your team in. This will fill up by the time we get to the 23rd, so go play. It's going to be great. We're going to have live shows. Tyler's already smiling. He can think about how much fun he's going to have that weekend.
Oh, I'm so jazzed.
It's going to be great. All right, we're going to move along. Connor McDavid's point streak. I want to start off some positive news. We could go with the healthy scratches, blah, blah. But, like, out of his mind, 35 points in 15 games.
He's a really damn good hockey player.
The fun thing is there's a couple guys who have like almost as long of a point streak going right now. So they'll put the graphic up, and then you look at total points, and he's like doubled them all of them.
It is wild. I know Jack and Louie have obviously talked about this a lot, but they're like, is this the best we've ever seen Connor McDavid? And like, he just had, as much as I maybe don't fully agree with it, he did just have one of the best months in NHL history. Yeah. Crazy.
I think it wasn't it the
Best one since Lemieux in like
90.
It was the best one since 95.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was thinking. He's also like, I think it's between 50 and 60 points away from being the fastest player to however many points before the age of 30.
Damn.
And he's just turning 29 in a couple of weeks.
Can we go back and look at it when his streak started?
I'll tell you when. Seattle.
What day is that? And then
Oh, I
can
don't
you
know.
can you figure out when that article came out that said he's like, I know it's just the headline or whatever, but it said something about him being like past his prime.
Oh, that was a Paul Paduti article.
Yeah, I would like to know how many points he has since that day.
You didn't read the article, so
I know,
no Paul Paduti slander.
I'm not. I'm just saying that came out that day. I want to know what he has from since that day.
You think McDavid's reading DFO?
Maybe
course.
just the
Always.
headline.
Daily.
If you're an athlete, I can see you looking at headlines, maybe not going to the article, but seeing the headline.
So McDavid is bad at reading comprehension? He has
No,
bad
you don't care. You're just
McDavid has
flipping.
bad media consuming habits?
No, it's like when you flip through the
Don't we
newspaper.
all?
Well, the newspaper back in the old day. And you
What's
just
that?
catch the headlines and you keep moving.
Get to the comics.
Yeah. Well, the
Oh,
sports and the comics.
Yeah. Sunshine Girl.
Yeah, right after the sports.
Anyway, I just want to say Connor's pretty good at hockey. That's all.
Shout out Nathan McKinnon for just giving him that carrot to catch up to every
Nobody
single
can
day.
catch Nate, they said.
Yeah.
Connor's like, watch this.
I know we're doing positives, but it's
backwards.
very funny to look at Nathan McKinnon plus 50, Connor McDavid 2 points less, 0, plus minus.
Not ideal. I mean, I know
He's an even plus minus.
I know plus minus isn't everybody's favorite these days, but you know, that tells you something.
If you have the league one in front of you, it's like 9 of the top 12 are all from Colorado or something silly, isn't it?
Over plus minus?
Yeah,
Probably.
That's crazy.
Well, and just like what you're saying, Tyler, about the plus minus, I think it's just like it's a problem of the Oilers' goals against in general. They are -4. They got a -4 differential after 42 games.
We've been bad defensively all year.
Totally.
And it's not been on the goaltenders.
Some of it.
Yeah, well, obviously, everyone's got their own, but it's not like it's in total, it's not been on the goaltending. In total, it's on the team.
A lot of it is on the team,
Yeah.
for sure. 100%. All right, so there's your shout out to Connor. I love him. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. Other news? We haven't seen him forever. I forgot he existed. Kasperi Kapanen makes his return to the lineup. According to the post-practice lines, he will be slotting in next to Draisaitl and Podkolzin.
Yep.
Thoughts?
I mean, he was there. He spent a significant amount of time there last season. I don't dislike it at all. He works hard. I think they need more hard workers. I am curious that, like, again, if we get halfway through this game and they're not scoring, is Roslovic just going right back up to that second line? And are they mishmashing things from then on down? Like, yeah, maybe. And I do think ultimately at the end of the day, you need to find someone better to play with Leon Draisaitl. But Kapanen works there. They're trying to spread things out a little bit. They're giving Henrique, Howard, and Roslovic. I think that's another part of this conversation is like you're taking a guy in Roslovic who is going and who is moving right now and putting him with Henrique. I think that kind of says something about how they want to get Adam Henrique going. He's the one guy who hasn't been healthy scratched out of that group you mentioned. So I'm good with Kapanen being there for now. I just think at some point it will be a problem.
With that third line, would you move Henrique for Savoy and then go either Roslovic or Savoy at center? They've both played center in the last couple games.
I mean, when they tried, and I know, again, Roslovic is obviously better than Quinn Hudson in terms of scoring, but they tried that kid line the other day, and it was a little bit of a tire fire.
Yeah, but why do we expect that three guys that young are going to find their way that quickly?
I agree with you on that front. I just think the line maybe does need a little bit of a defensive conscience. And Savoy's very good two ways, but he's not quite there yet. I don't want him to have to wear all the defensive responsibility on that line. I'm fine with it the way it is. I know, again, Savoy on the fourth line, it doesn't look visually appealing, but he's playing with two guys that work hard in Lazar and Janmark. Like, that might actually be a decent line.
One thing I would say about Kapanen specifically, he hasn't played all year. So if you're expecting immediate results and him to look like he's mid-season form, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I think he'll play about 10 minutes.
So
Ooh,
you think
do you want to do an over-under?
Sure.
Do you think they're going to rotate Roslovic just up there?
I think Savoy.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to set the line at 10.5.
10.5, Popo, 11 in Crocs. You ever seen that movie?
What?
I have
What
not.
the fuck did you just say?
So-
There was just a
Someone
bunch of
know that
sounds
one.
that just came out of your face.
That's very
It's
confusing.
From, I'll look it up.
You don't even know?
It's like one of those Bring It On movies or something.
Of
like
course.
that.
The answer's over, by the way.
Yeah, I'm going to go over. I think they're going to play him.
Dan, what do you got? Over? 10 and a half's your line.
I think they're playing him a lot. Yes, I think it's over. I don't know. I'm just like, I'm of the mindset that let him come in at his own pace and don't force him in at that top. But I understand what you're saying, that we have to try and make something work. So get him in there and see if it sticks.
I think it'll be his own game style, though. He's just a guy who will get out there and like a little buzzsaw.
I hope so.
And that's what you kind of need out of a guy.
What'd you find over there?
I found the video. It
ahead.
was from the hit movie Fired Up, and it is the guy. Have you ever seen New Girl? Seen the show New Girl?
Yeah.
It's this guy that he dates Jess. He's like the doctor. I can't remember his name. It's a good movie. That guy.
You know,
Oh,
that
yeah, he's
guy.
a dumb guy.
Yeah,
He's just a dumb guy.
All right.
Classic dumb guy.
Classic dumb guy from the movie nobody's seen.
You never seen Fired Up?
No.
Did
Rooster,
you see, have you seen the whole thing?
No, just the clip. I've never seen it either.
perfect.
only
I'll
see the
play the
clip.
clip after. It's only
It
25 seconds.
clearly left an impact on you, though. As a result of Kapanen coming back, Quinn Hudson loaned back to the Condors. Fare thee well.
Farewell, Quinn. He actually went straight to Vancouver because they have like 4 games in
Abbotsford.
Western Canada.
Oh, Abby, there's an Arby's in Abby. Gotta hit that up. Yep.
Nice little
When were
airport
you in
there, too.
Vancouver?
Oh, I just know there's an Arby's
Oh, you
in
just know.
Abbotsford.
Oh, I thought you. Okay.
If
People
you're
who are
flying
making
over there, fly into Abbotsford. It's way easier.
people are making a big deal out of
Unless
like,
you have to go downtown Vancouver and
Then no, you have to go
bamboozled
right-
me into
'cause you're
Tyler
already
like
there.
they did.
Yeah. People are making a big deal about the Oilers kind of like yo-yoing Quinn Hudson. People were like, oh, this is exactly what they did with Holloway and Broberg. They're ruining the relationship. Not even close to the same thing. Quinn Hudson, first off, is like 22 years old. Like, he's not a 19-year-old prospect. And as much as you want to develop him properly, I think he also kind of knows the role he's signed up for here. He's
Yes.
getting some looks in the NHL. I'm sure he
That's
would
what they
tell
would have
you.
told him at the beginning of the season.
That's what they would have told him when they called him up. Like, hey, Quinn, you're coming up, but you're playing for 1 game, then you're going to Abbotsford. To
Yeah.
Well, you're going to be here for a bit. It might be a game. It might be 3. Who knows? Come up. Earn some of that NHL money.
I'm
Go
sure
down there
he's
and show it off to all the girls.
all the girls in Bakersfield
Or just your friends along the way.
who could be girls.
It could be. Maybe
up
you
to
take
you.
the boys out for cheesecake on a Wednesday because you got that NHL paycheck.
We have a virtual golf cheesecake ground tomorrow.
You know what? I want to touch back on that later. But we got stuff to do. Anyway, Quinn Hudson is gone. Looking at the line combos just because they made a couple of movements. Nuge, McDavid, Hyman, Podkolzin, Draisaitl, Kapanen. Your third line is Howard, Henrique, Roslovic, Janmark, Lazar, and Savoy. Don't like Savoy in the fourth line, but I could see him going up with Draisaitl at some point tonight too. Your deep pairings are Ekholm and Bouchard, Nurse Regula, Stastny, Emberson, and Connor Ingram gets a start. And if you haven't heard, Mangiapane and Frederic are healthy scratch tonight.
What do you think?
About that?
All of that.
Just life.
Said.
Yeah. I mean, the Mangiapane Frederic thing is very annoying because you have $7.5 million sitting in the press box when that could have been Brock Besser. Now, again, who knows if he
Brock
would have
Besser
signed
said
here?
no to us, didn't he?
Yeah,
Maybe.
but like a like player like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
So I did a quick copy and paste and then put them into a list
All right.
based off the numbers I told you guys before
Right.
and this season. But I added time on ice.
Please.
And you shaded some of the cells, too.
Yeah, that's for this season. Those are the oranges this season.
Right.
The only players on the team last season that averaged fewer time on ice for Trent Frederic at this point coming into the season, were,
Derek Ryan.
yes, and Noah Philp and Drake Kajula when they were called up.
Drake Kajula. I forgot he was even here.
Crazy.
Playing for Spengler Cup this year.
Yeah.
Is he?
But
Things didn't go so well.
here's the other crazy part about Trent Frederic. He does not have the lowest time on ice for an Oiler this season as a forward.
Who would be?
There is a lot. Thomas
There's gonna
Eck
be a
was
couple.
averaging. So for people who don't know,
Maximum.
Frederick was averaging 11:06. He's averaging. I guess he's not gone anywhere yet. Thomas Eck, Noah Philp, Isaac Howard, Curtis Lazar, Hudson, Jones, and Kleinberg all average less time on ice than Frederick. So that's crazy too. That basically like one full-time NHLer was averaging less than Trent Frederick at this point last season, and now there's like just why is that 5 guys? 6
Yeah, but
guys?
go over those guys and which guys are actual NHLers.
I would say the only ones I would take out would be Hudson and Klamberg in the sense of like the amount of time they were here. I guess Jones too, if you want, but he only played like 8 games, 9 games. He had like a decent sample size.
He is maximum Jones too.
Noah Phil played like 12 games.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's ever going to become a regular NHLer is what I'm getting at.
But still, though, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is nuts. But I mean, at the end of the day, it just tells you that Trent has been given the opportunity. Like 11 minutes shouldn't be the end of the world for him.
You want to hear something else that'll just really stir the pot?
Yep.
Trent Frederic, 11 minutes, 6 seconds time on ice, 2 goals. Corey Perry, 11 minutes, 12 seconds, 7 goals.
So what you're saying is
Stir it
Trent's
up.
due.
Trent's
due for about 5 goals
Well,
here in the
he
next couple
needs
games.
6 more seconds of time on ice, and we should be getting him. Maybe that's a missing piece.
He needs a little bit more worm in his game.
Yes.
I think he needs to move his feet.
Wow.
I'm trying to think of what it could be, and I should do a deeper look. It feels like he's just not. There's no offense in him, but it's almost like they're asking him to drive it a little bit, and I just don't think that's part of his game at all.
So I think they've lost confidence. They can't find their own game.
Oh, but it's the 42 game mark, man. I hate that. That almost like pisses
Why?
me
Why
off.
does that change anything?
Because you're a professional athlete.
So
and
they don't. They're just regular human beings, though.
No, but the things we're talking about, Rick, are like Mangiapane won't shoot the puck even though he has a good shot. Won't forecheck hard. His speed burst per 60 are down. His hits per 60 are down. Trent Frederic.
But if you have no confidence in your game, you're a half a step to a full step behind.
$3 million a year.
That doesn't change anything.
Go skate hard. Go skate hard.
That doesn't change anything.
No.
Just because you're making X amount of dollars doesn't make it. You're not like a human body anymore. You don't have fucking mental issues.
If it was a week-long slump, sure, I'll use that excuse. Game 42, you're a professional. This is your job. Figure it out. Play better. Like, I don't know, man.
But play better is such a hard thing to do. Like, Mike Pekka played here for a whole season, was never looking like the Mike Pekka that we saw before here till the playoffs. We've seen this before. You can probably go through almost all types of sports and go, there's a player who makes a ton of money and been good before and is just like playing in quicksand right now, and everything you do is wrong.
But in hockey, you can fix a lot of this stuff with like an effort and a mindset thing.
Yeah, but if you're not feeling it, if you're half a step off, it'll make it look like you're not playing well at all.
It's game 42.
But you're only half a step off.
Game 20, I would have been right there with you. It's game 42. Like results-driven business.
That's why I'm okay like moving on from him.
Yeah, I punt them
But
all.
I'm not going to sit here. Like, it's unfortunate it hasn't worked out. But like someone like Frederic, I think you need to simplify your game. But I mean, it's also, I think there has to be some sort of, I would have to call me if I'm wrong, get the head doctor in there, and I'd be like sitting down on the couch and be going through it that way with some of these guys now. I really would.
Sure.
Like, I don't know whether they're psychologists or whatever the hell. But I mean, I would have like a sports psychologist in there go working with these guys, because to me, this is so much between the ears that they're so intertwined in it now. I don't know how they find their way out.
I do think head doctor is the correct term.
Thank you. That's why I was going to Google that.
You go to school for 8 years to be a head doctor.
Yeah. Oh my god.
But I do
talking about
think
getting
that
a
they're just
haircut,
so
right?
far in their own heads right now that it's almost impossible to get out.
I do think there is zero confidence.
0.
Whoever-
Probably negative.
Yeah.
And I think when you compare all this stuff of like Mangiapane being like, I don't get the opportunity, it's like, well, Vasily Podkolzin was playing around the same amount of minutes as you did last season and had the same amount of goals and was also contributing in a work ethic.
You never questioned his work ethic.
Never. And he was the same with Connor Brown. Like
And he
you
wasn't
said.
getting the first
Actually,
9 minutes that Mangiapane got in the first, or the top 6 that Mangiapane got right away.
I don't
Podkolzin
think-
didn't get right away.
You missed the last episode, right?
I was not here, correct.
Okay. That's all I had. Tyler looked it up. Mangiapane's most common line mate is McDavid.
Yeah, like I said.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Like,
no, in
it's
the top
just-
6, Mangiapane
Yeah.
got way more time in the top 6 than
Yeah.
at the beginning of this year than Podkolzin got at the beginning of last year.
Totally.
So you're right. There is a simplify your game. But I think when you're so deep in your own head, saying that isn't really going to change it. You got to do some real fucking work.
It is funny when you look back at the past 3 seasons that you always felt like the changes they made were going to be a positive, but that team previously always felt a little bit better when it all came around to it. Like last season, there were so many flaws, but I would take 12 minutes of Jeff Skinner right now for his 7 goals. And the 11 minutes of Corey Perry. And I would deal with Arvidsson and Podkolzin just not producing consistently because I knew those guys were playing well enough. And Connor Brown, again, 6 goals, 13 minutes. He actually had the same 10 seconds more on time and ice than Mangiapane.
The thing that's maddening even more about Mangiapane is that like the coaching staff has looked at him and been like, keep him up there. He's played the most with Connor McDavid this year. Why wasn't Jeff Skinner afforded that opportunity? Like things probably play out differently. Like we screamed about 10 months ago, give Jeff Skinner, what would you say, 5 games with Connor and Leon. Let him figure it out. And they never did it. Then it's Mangiapane. It's early in the year. And okay, they'll let him figure it out.
And it's funny because even we're like, hey, Skinner fixed those defensive issues. Then he went out and actually fixed those defensive issues, made great plays, and never got the opportunity.
So again, that's what even pisses me off more is like Jeff Skinner was like actively trying to improve his game, and didn't get the breaks. And then that's why I admire Jeff Skinner. That's why Connor Brown, when there was the whole thing about Connor Brown not scoring, it was like, you know what? He's killing penalties. Yeah. You could tell he's going out there and working his bag off, and like. I do not get that vibe with Frederic and Mangiapane at all. That those are two guys who are sitting there when they get healthy scratched. They both already been healthy scratched. They both have had a chance to show that it's lit something under them. Neither one of them has shown for a second that they're like, I'm just going to go out and work my bag off to try and not be healthy scratched again. They don't give a shit. They want to just keep doing the same thing because that's the type of NHLer they think they are, and they're not going to listen to the messaging. And they think they can just play their way out of this without changing anything. It's maddening.
I can't argue that stuff.
Yeah, it's
we're working on it. Give me a second.
It's frustrating because like when you sit in this job and you have to try and like you don't want to be a person that sits there and rags on the issues all the time without having like a next step to your criticism where it's like I should have here instead, and we just don't have that with these guys. There's just really like, yeah, I don't know. I keep coming back to the fact that this lineup like. Throw daily faceoffs, Oilers fucking lineup thing out the night or out the chart every single night, except for like maybe a handful of games this year where we haven't seen that lineup consistently carry out throughout the whole thing. And like I guess I'm a fan of teams where they just sometimes make those guys figure it the fuck out in the fourth line and force them to play together instead of giving them the opportunities and the exchanges up the lineup. So
I wonder how often that happens though, because we don't watch other teams as closely, so we're not going to notice that stuff.
But
you'd assume that coaches they can't just like allow everybody to like play your game into the ground.
Well, and that's like I think that
job technically, right?
I think that as a fan outside of the market though, you see the discourse more when these players are healthy scratched. And it gets to the point of healthy scratching as the last resort instead of let's try and make Trent Frederic work with Leon Draisaitl. And like that's just not an answer for him right now. It's just not good for him. It's only going to layer more of those confidence issues on. So I'm again, like I just think the answer is you fucking make those 3 guys play on your fourth line until you can figure it out otherwise. If you have to call up Clattenburg to play one game as to the model that you want Trent Frederic playing and you make Trent Frederic sit and watch that, sure. But like outside of that, I think consistency.
I'm starting to think our GM
and it didn't work.
I'm starting to think our GM and our head coach they're not on the same train of thought. I think they don't look at the roster the same way. I don't think they want to play the roster the same way. I'm starting to wonder if they mesh very well.
But this goes back to like, again, we've hammered this point home now, and Liam and I have at least on a bunch of different shows. The Brock Besser thing, BM, you alluded to it. Like the mushy middle's just got to stop. Like who is working harder and giving you more positive shifts, Curtis Lazar or Adam Henrique?
Lazar
makes $775,000. Like you can find.
Excited. Yeah, okay.
750, whatever, however much money.
No, I was going to consider Lazar the mushy middle, but I guess he would be the bottom end.
No, he'd be bottom end.
Yeah.
Again, like you can't have Connor Clattenburg come up and be the exact player that you want Trent Frederic to be. Like you don't need to sign these guys for $3 to $4 million anymore. Go sign high-priced, high-end players, and if they aren't out there and you aren't signing them, don't just hit yourself to an albatross for the sake of being.
What if you couldn't find? Would you just walk in with a butt ton of fucking cap space then?
I mean, sure.
Like because as a GM, you got to think that your job is on the line. Your career, your every spot you are is like 4 to 5 years. You really can't come in with the bat on your shoulders.
I wouldn't go past the deadline with it, like the Oilers did that 1 year. I wouldn't go past the deadline with it. But if you were sitting there right now with $4 to $5 million in cap space, which granted they might once they trade Mangiapane, and things start to accrue. But like by the time the deadline comes around, you could look around the league and go, here's a guy making $3 million that a team's looking to move on for a fifth round pick. Here's okay, perfect. They're rentals, bring them in. We'll try for a big swing again in the summer. Try for another big swing, doesn't work. All right, fix your problems at the deadline, go. Like with the way this team wins with Connor and Leon. Everything else is kind of gravy when you get to the playoffs. Even the last two playoff runs, it's largely just been Connor and Leon going nuts, and some timely goals, I guess. But I just think the Oilers, if any team could do it, the Oilers could afford to go into a year and say, you know what, the bottom of our roster isn't perfect. We're going to take some shots on cheap guys, and we'll fix this shit in March.
Anything else on those two?
I was gonna
Or
say
can we move on?
that was all in the script, right?
Yes.
I don't even remember what segment we're in anymore.
Just the news. Still got more to get to.
Okay, well, then.
I don't even know where I was on my list in here. Tristan Jarry was on the ice today.
That's good. Supposed to be out for 2 more weeks.
Couple
2 more
yeah,
weeks.
which is, I'm telling you, he's not back till after
Don't say the Olympics.
the Olympics.
I don't think he's practicing the way he was practicing if he's
Skating today, and they said I think actually I don't know what,
He was
but
working
they
a
said
little bit
it's still a
with
couple
the,
weeks.
Yeah, still a couple weeks.
So a couple weeks. Let's add on the whole Edmonton doesn't really get the
the-
timeline very
it's the
well here.
inflation.
Knob
So
block
make
tax.
it 3.5 weeks, and all of a sudden you're at the end of the. Might as well just. You won't see him again until after the Olympics.
maybe ever.
Maybe ever.
Well, there you go. He's back on the ice. Helmet looks great. Jake Wallman, still about another week.
Next week.
Well, we'll see.
Sounds like road trip. They're going to go, they play Chicago, Nashville back-to-back next week. So
That would be on there. Does he play? I don't know. He gets to ride on the plane, though. That's exciting.
Well, they brought Hyman along for that one. So
That is true. Yep, they did do that. But when Wallman comes back next week, we got another roster issue. How do they fix it? Is it as simple as sending Stillman out?
I had
Probably.
Hart Levine on from Puckpedia on ON every day today.
All right, perfect.
So we'll do a choose your own adventure, all right? Do you want the backup goalie to be, are we doing everyone healthy, Wallman and Jarry, or just Wallman?
I'm just doing the order of operations. So next week when Wallman comes back.
You move Jarry to LTIR, you're good.
Oh, perfect.
and you can retro him so he could come back like probably the next day or something.
Yeah.
And then what's the other situation?
Well, when Jarry's back and you need him off LTIR, that's where things get hairy. Who do you want to be the backup, Ingram or Pickard? Because it actually does matter.
It does seem like the Oilers want Ingram to be that guy.
So if you choose Ingram, you will not have enough cap space because there's a $150,000 difference between Pickard and Ingram. That's the difference between being able to keep Curtis Lazar on your roster or having to waive him. So that's the difference between having a forward group that only has 12 forwards and running bare bones, or being able to keep an extra forward on the roster and have 13 forwards. So
we have 8
Would it
defensemen
not
now?
work to send out
Stats or
Stillman? Because then that
You
would
still
have
have Regula as your
Regula
7.
would still be around as a 7th.
Yep, that's so if they want to have Jarry and Wallman activated, they would have to, and this is from Hart, they would have to send down Ike Howard and waive Stillman and waive Curtis Lazar. They would have to send down all three of them if they want.
Or you just move on from Andrew Mangiapane.
Or you could just move on from Andrew Mangiapane by then.
So to Rick's point, it almost kind of seems like the clock is ticking on that trade for when Jarry comes back.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's like a little bit of a, we'll call it soft deadline for when they should move on from Mangiapane, because Hart also brought up another really interesting thing in the lead up to the deadline. If you can get out of LTIR space by the Olympic break, you could send down Howard, send down Savoy, waive Curtis Lazar. You could get your roster as low as you possibly can, and then you could start actually accruing cap space and accrue it for the whole 3 weeks of the Olympic break when you don't play, which means your 3.6 would actually grow to like or it'd be more than 3.6. If you can trade Mangiapane, send all those guys down, you're talking about $4.5 million that could grow to like $5+ million.
What does that mean though? Because we can't spend all that money come the playoffs.
But you can, because you can run a bare bones roster in the playoffs, and you
Meaning?
don't. Your 7th defenseman, your 13th
No
forward.
one's eating popcorn?
Those guys can eat popcorn. They just don't count towards your cap anymore, which they do in the regular season. So that's how you can still get around it down the line.
That's confusing. We got a couple months to work on that though.
Yep.
Just
Me and
sit
Rick are
nurse
gonna need a
for
flow
a
chart.
playoff game.
I think
It's
it
fine.
becomes as easy like as making extra money work. For example, you have Pickett as your backup instead of Ingram.
Yeah, if you
Right.
keep
What's the difference in their salaries?
150 grand, but that's the difference between having the 775 to keep Lazar up or having below league minimum available and not being able to have Lazar up. That's how tight it is.
But like for example, too, hypothetically, hopefully it just gets better. Maybe Frederic's not in the lineup, and you just have Lazar playing there anyway. So then
Come playoff time?
Yeah, playoff.
Yeah.
So then your money switch around.
Oh my god.
I mean, hopefully.
So playoff time, the
Oh my
roster
God.
is only the guys on the ice.
Yes.
Yeah, you just have to have the guys who are on the ice have to combine for below 95.5 million. So to answer your question, when Wallman needs
I
to
forget
come
what the
back,
question
you
was.
LTIR Jari, you're good. When Jari's back, you either need to send down Howard and Lazar and Stillman or trade Mangiapane.
There is one layer we're missing, from the playoff picture.
Okay.
Jack Campbell's money is also part of that.
Yeah, but it does count right now too.
But towards the 95 million, no?
Yeah, Campbell's dead
Yeah.
cap space does count.
Well, Soup
Oh,
better
he'll
get
be
ready to
considered
play.
a guy on the ice.
Yeah, your dead cap counts.
Soup's the e-bug.
Yeah.
Call him up. All right, sorry, Jack, we need you to sit on the bench. He's like, what? Me?
All right, and the final thing before we move on to the betting segment, we are on Milestone Watch. Tonight is game 993 for Nugent-Hopkins. He is still, knock on wood, scheduled to hit 1,000 on the 18th against St. Louis. More immediately, though, 499 career assists for Nuge. One more to 500. So a couple of milestones for my boy over the next couple of weeks. Maybe that assist one even gets checked off today.
That's right.
Wonder how many players in NHL history have had 500 assists.
Oh, I will guess
A lot.
49.
Way higher than that, Liam.
149.
149.
Oh, it's actually higher than that. All right,
549.
No, it's like 243.
178. He would tie Johnny Gaudreau for the most assists all time.
So watch out for that. Maybe Nuge hits it today. All right, let's do a little bet and talk here, friends. Took us a while to get here, but we're here. Whatever your bet is never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app and get it on the game. Use code NATION at Bet365. Must be 19 years old or older. First of 3 meetings tonight against the Predators. First game since November 14th of 2024, so it's been a minute.
Didn't play him for a full year.
Full year, Liam. Last season, the Oilers won all 3.
Suck it.
So as we look at the lines for tonight, now I did set these this morning, so the lines may have shifted a little bit as since I was prepping. So on the money line, the Oilers were minus 155, so they are favored on the money line. That's just a win outright. The Predators are at plus 130 if you think they're going to win. For the puck line, for the Oilers to win by 2 or more, so that's minus 1.5. That is plus 150. The Preds cover that are minus 180. Your over-under is set at 6.5 with minus 110 on either side. How do those just main lines feel, Tyler?
I like the puck line tonight. I think this is a night where they kind of get right. They've lost back-to-back on home ice. They're not a team that loses 3 in a row on home ice all that often. So, yeah, I'm all good with them maybe blowing out the Preds tonight. They've had their number over the last couple of years, too.
Curious if you guys have anything that can help the listeners earn a little money. Here's a couple I got for you.
I got to swing.
Leon Draisaitl, mayor of Nashville, has been for
Mayor of
quite some
Smashville.
time. 2 points for Leon is minus 110. You're getting greedy?
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
4 points. 7.25.
4-point game?
I mean, he
Leon
does
versus
it.
Nashville.
Are you mad?
Kinda. This is Leon versus Nashville.
How many times do you think he's gotten 4 points this year?
Can you find it quickly?
I don't care about that. How many times he got 4 points against Nashville?
Last year against the Nashville Predators,
This year.
he did not get 4 points once against the Preds last year.
So what you're saying is he's due.
He is due.
That's a good gambler right there.
Yeah.
Is if the numbers track, it's like, dude, he dominates them. Not he's due. Last year he had a 3-point game, a 2-point game, and a 1-point game against the Nashville Predators. And last year he only had 1 4-point game. This year he does already have 2 4-point games. The game against Pittsburgh and Seattle, respectively.
So I've got Leon at 2 points at minus 110. I've got a Leon anytime goal plus 115. Okay. Connor McDavid 2 points is minus 150. And then I got Jack Roslovic 2 shots at minus 130.
I like the Roslovic. I think you can almost bump it up to 3. There was a game, I think it was Boston, right, where he started away from Connor and Leon, and he was ripping pucks. So I don't mind playing Roslovic up a little bit and getting some juice.
Anything else stick out to you guys to make us a little money for
Plus 255 for the 3 shots.
3 shots?
For Roslovic?
Oh,
I like that.
I like that a lot.
Leon to score twice, plus 650. He hasn't scored in a few games, hasn't scored since his hat trick against Calgary, so it's been 4 games now. I don't mind Leon to maybe pop off for 1 or 2. I like Leon and the money line played together.
Ooh, I like that too.
He's been pretty bad since the break.
I think a lot of guys have been pretty bad since the break.
That's why I will not be trusting the Edmonton Oilers tonight.
Have you not noticed that at the beginning of the game, the season, after a long break, we tend to come out a little bit sluggish?
Listen,
3
Turkey
days
leg.
is not a long
This
break.
is, yeah.
It's still what they do.
it is if you get
It's
after
not.
it.
It is.
Gregor had that stat where like their
What
numbers
stat?
out of Christmas are actually like really good in the past 3 years.
What does Gregor know?
Yeah.
Let me find it.
Nothing in
Let me
stats.
find it.
Come on.
1 second.
Oh, he
guys.
spends all this time prepping for a radio show? What does Gregor know?
Who believes that?
Nobody. Nobody, Dan.
I believe this team knows that the playoffs mean everything, and until then,
Gotta get there first, Rick.
are you really worried about that?
On the Pacific Division.
I literally had people bring that up earlier in the season.
No, I'm not worried because I think everything else sucks. Here we go.
If I was in the Central, I would be.
Yeah,
I'll read the tweet. If they were in the East, it'd also be up.
please.
Pardon?
Podden?
Jason Gregor says, as someone called Grizzle Alberta replies, the Oilers fans need to get ready for the Oilers' traditional slow start after the holidays. That's you guys.
I witnessed it, man. Watching it.
2022, first 13 games after Christmas, 9-3-1. 2023, 14-0 after Christmas. 2024, 8-2-1, 11 games after Christmas. I don't see a traditional slowdown out of the break, says Jason.
Yeah,
Sounds
but
to me
that's
like
not
he
over.
cherry-picked his stats.
Yeah, that could have been 0-2, and then they won 8 in a row. And they would have come out 0-2.
That's true.
That's a
Do you
slow
think
start.
it was? What year was it?
14-0.
Well,
What about that
The year,
one?
I think 2022 was. We lost the first 2
it
games.
could have been a couple
because that
one-goal
was after
games that we just barely got through.
Draisaitl, Yamo.
I think it's the All-Star break that come out.
2-0 out of the break that in 2022, Dan. 2023 coming out of the break.
They were 14-0. No need to.
Yep. They went 3-0. And then 2024 out of the break, they were. Oh, that's 2026. Sorry, guys. Hit the wrong
Not good.
button.
Not good, Dan.
2024.
1-3, if anyone was wondering.
Yep.
Okay, 2024. OT loss win. So
OT, loss, win. All right, so we're okay.
Right
So
there,
that-
Just
man.
gotta waken up.
Yeah,
Gotta liven the beast up.
exactly. The sun is out if you guys have not noticed.
Yep.
If the Oilers
Look at
lose
it, bright.
tonight,
That Christmas elf, he'll
I'm telling you, man.
3 days, you
I
can get a lot
still
of business
believe, and
done.
I don't know how much this affects the team, but I still think you get a little seasonal depression going on that team.
a little vitamin D, maybe. A couple
you
of
get
capsules
some-
for the boys.
Yeah, you get some tanning beds in there. You get some UV lights.
Okay, nice bronze look, good, feel good. All right. Well, there you have it.
Gene can use it when they're not.
Yeah, he's in there already. Right now. That'll be Jay when he gets back from Mexico. He'll be bronzed as all hell.
Maybe looking like Gene.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. It is time for a new game to wrap us up on Tuesday. Dan's got a game, but first I got to tell you about our friends at Swiss Donair. Of course, they're delicious. They're wonderful. They're warm. They are everything you need on a cold January evening, although it is wonderful outside today. Nice January day today. What do you got over there on that Apple Watch?
Down to -4.
Fuck yeah.
I'm going to
Gorgeous out there.
So
I'm
after
telling
you,
you, man.
after
You
you
go
get
out
off
there,
work,
you feel a little better right now. A little more juice in the body.
get off work, you go to the ODR, maybe 30 minutes, you rip around, hit up Swiss Donair, get something to eat, and then you got the hockey game. Swiss Donair is home for old school Donair with options that you want to flair. Open for 25 years, now 7 days a week. Pride of the North Side, Swiss Donair is great for your events at home or the office. Check out their location at 8308 144th Ave Northwest or order online at Swiss Donair. Dan, over to you for Dan's game.
Well, as I madly write down all the names for you guys to be able to keep track of instead of having to write them down yourself, I was thinking about bringing back the old Dan game, and then I saw on the schedule that we were playing the Predators, and I thought us drafting Predators of all time would not be a great thing. Start with Chris Hansen, of course, and go from there. So then I went to guess the quote game from the media, and then I thought, you know what, that's kind of boring because who really cares about what the media has asked the players? So we're just going to go with guessing blindly from, Jesus, that's a good way to spell Kasperi Kapanen. That's Kasperi Kapanen. And then we've got Adam. It's what happens when I'm writing and trying to tell a story because as I do, everything is last minute and off the cuff. So I'm going to be giving you the 6 players. They're listed here on the board. It's Quinn Hudson, Matthias Ekholm, Kasperi Kapanen, Adam Henrique, and Zach Hyman.
And Connor Ingram.
And I'm going to be listing off 6 quotes. You just have to figure out which quote came from which player.
Is it one quote per player?
1 quote per player unless I clarify otherwise.
Okay.
There's going to be 2 quotes for 1 player.
Okay.
Player 1. It's just good to be back, and no matter what league you're on, you put your skates on the same way, and my job never changes.
Connor Ingram.
Got to be Connor Ingram.
It is Connor Ingram, correct?
Point back.
Is it just first one to get
I
in?
guess so. I was thinking about you
buzzers.
guys could also just like keep a note in your head and do the track, but I like the buzzer. I like the
win.
buzzer idea. It's
Can you
good.
pass me the eraser? Oh, I can't erase it. Never mind. Carry on.
Player 2 is not a concern. Everyone's good. Everybody's really good.
Matthias
yeah.
Ekholm.
You want to be able to
Buzz.
string together.
Buzz.
You buzz? Okay, Liam, go ahead.
Matthias Ekholm.
No.
Adam Henrique.
It's yes.
gotta let him read
Everyone's
the
really
quote.
good. Yeah, you want to be able to string together 3 or 4 or 5 of those big win streaks at a time during the season, and we haven't been able to find a way to get there. So that is Adam Henrique talking about our recent struggles as a team. So yes, let me read out the entire quote, and then you make a noise as loud as possible, and I'll decide who got who.
I like Tyler just being visibly annoyed.
Angry that the answers are being
I
thrown
wanted to
out
get ahead of
before.
it. You guys jumped in so quickly last time. I can't even think about you on the board.
I don't have one right.
So this is 2 quotes. This one is, I
minus
feel
1.
like I've gone to some pretty dark places throughout the injury,
Jesus.
and I've never been past the first round.
Kasperi Kapanen. No, that's wrong. God damn it.
Nice.
No, you were correct, Rick. Actually,
Got
I
past
know
the
you
first
doubted
round last
yourself.
year, though.
He said he was talking about how he had never been
Oh,
past
excellent.
the first round.
Good for me.
So that was a little bit of a throw off there from Kasperi
Curveball.
Kapanen.
You must not playing the game.
Well, I'll do the last 2 together so that you won't be able to figure them out. So this is your player number 4. It's a long season. It's an 82 game season. You want to play your best every game. You want to take advantage of every home stretch, but unfortunately that's not the case.
Buzz.
I know who that one is, but
Zach
then
Hyman.
Yes.
no, I was gonna say Matthias Ekholm.
It is Zach Hyman. Correct, Liam. So that's 1 point for Rick, 1 point for BM, 1 point for
I'm at 0 because I had negative.
Oh, there you go.
I
2
got
for Rick.
Henrique
Sorry,
and
2 for
Kasperi,
Rick. So we got 2 quotes here now at the end of the game.
For all the marbles.
For all the marbles, yep. Player 5 is obviously a huge disappointment. Not much I can do about it right now. And player number 6 is, I think it will be fun. We all know each other. We have all played together before. I think it's fun out there. Just fun.
Quinn Hudson's that one.
6 is Quinn Hutton's. Yeah.
Yes.
And then
me on
the
the
other
board for
one, I'm disappointed in myself.
Connor Ingram.
Could be any of them.
I'll say Adam Henrique again.
Nope.
Do it again, Dan.
It's obviously a huge disappointment. Not much I can do about it right now.
It's Ekholm because he didn't get drafted to go to Sweden.
Rick wins the quote game number
Rick.
1, the inaugural version of quote game. I will come up with a better tiebreaker for the end of that, so that we can have like a head-to-head matchup at the end.
We should probably use boards for this too.
Yeah, I think we need
Yeah,
boards.
we'll have to. Yeah, I was trying to get away from the exact same format, but yes, please do. Please
Well,
do.
you are the quiz master for a reason.
So there you go.
So that's
Dan's
it.
game.
We just all come now with a game we want to play and just
No, I think like
trumps the
that's
last
part
one?
of the fun about the
Okay.
Tuesday episode is just like let's try different
I'll
stuff.
come up with one, but I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make you prepare for it. Yep. And then we'll make that a rule. If you come with a new game that day, you can just trump the other guy.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay.
So so as an example of this,
Yeah.
you show up next Tuesday with Liam's game, but
Yeah.
I have Bagmok's trivia prepared. Liam's trivia trumps Bagmok's trivia.
Yeah.
All the work you did for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Challenge accepted.
We're just gonna be bundles of anxiety because we've
I'm just not
prepared our
going to prepare
game.
anything.
No one does a quiz ever.
Nobody prepared a game. We were all convinced we were gonna beat each other.
All right, fellas, let's wrap up the podcast with the way we always do it. Oilers and Predators tonight. And do we have a game on Thursday? What's the schedule?
Yes, we do. Jets. So 2 score predictions.
Two
today.
score predictions. Tyler, your check. I will start with you. Preds first, then the Jets.
6-2 win over the Preds. A 4-2 empty net goal win over the Jets.
That Dan, what do you got?
5-3 loss to the Predators tonight, and a 4-0 win against the Jets.
5-2 for the Oilers tonight. 4-1 for the Oilers on Thursday.
Liam, what do you got?
What was your second one, Dan?
4-0 win.
Is today a Connor Ingram revenge game?
Technically, yes.
Okay,
He was-
technically that works for me.
Him and
I
Devin
will
Dubnyk
say-
are the only 2 former Oiler goaltenders for the Predators.
Yeah, he played 3 games.
Hey, that
Wow,
counts.
That works.
That
'cause
counts.
I was going to say 3-0.
Wow.
Shutout. Connor Ingram tonight. They play Winnipeg, sir?
Yeah.
What day of the week?
Thursday.
In Winnipeg?
Yeah.
They will win 4-2.
So you got to check the day. What
Empty
happens
net.
Wednesday night?
Well,
in
yeah,
Winnipeg?
whatever.
The boys are going to
I
be a
said
little.
empty net.
Why can't I say it?
We can say the same score.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
4-2 empty net.
What happens on a Wednesday in Winnipeg that you think that game's on Thursday that's going to happen?
Wings.
Gotcha.
Oh, fuel up.
Yeah, on the plane.
A little protein.
I would imagine they have chicken wings on the
I
plane.
imagine they have immaculate wings too. Yeah. I'm going to go. I don't think I have one right this year.
No.
I do.
Me and you and Rick don't have one yet.
All right, so I got to chase a little bit. I'm going to go 5-3 empty netter. Going for 2-pointer, and then in the peg, because Mitzi's no longer exists.
True.
I'm going to go 3-1, another empty netter. I'm shooting for 2-pointers in both games. I'm trying to, man. I got to get back in the mix. Rooster, what do you got?
5-1 tonight, and then 3-1 versus Winnipeg.
Thanks, Rick.
And Liam, you were asking me about a couple episodes ago that fighter that reminds you of Nugent-Hopkins. I meant Nick Delorier is what I meant.
No, that's also
I'm just fucking
Definitely
with
the
you.
guy.
I actually meant Dylan Larkin was the actual name. I don't know why I doubled down on. I said, who was I saying last week?
said-
And I was
You said,
Marcus Foligno.
Mark
Yeah,
Foligno.
and then you guys were like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah." No, I meant Dylan Larkin. He's had like a fight a season, so same kind of idea, but
One
not
fight a season.
yeah,
basically.
not a huge huge name, but yeah.
Also, a
captain,
correction from
leader.
last episode. Regardless of what I said, it's not actually 2016.
You started us-
2026.
You started us, or you said happy 2016.
Maybe.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we
Something like
looked
that.
at how they did in 2016.
That was a good year.
Great year.
I also loved about that episode. We titled it "Oilers Undefeated in 2026,"
They hadn't played yet.
and they immediately lost.
There's nothing wrong with it. You're
Listen,
undefeated at the point.
We're the only podcast that called it an
Yeah,
undefeated
yeah.
season.
We had it first.
There we go.
There you have it, everybody. We will be back on Friday. Go Oilers, couple of games. Oilers Nation every day. Better late than never. Real life on Thursday as well. Talk to you on Friday.
I like how you're like, that's almost as bad as Marcus Foligno. Nick Delorier would be the
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.